Okay, final clip. It's the fourth quarter. We're up 32-26. Let's look at the remaining of the game footage, see what we're doing well and some of the things that we need to improve on. So we are in Maryland. I think I'm yelling Carolina from the sidelines. We're trying to run our Carolina curl cuts here. And so we'd like to see a V cut, but Preston's open. And then here, DJ, if you recall on Carolina, you're going to come up and screen this guy. I know you didn't do it there. You're starting to come down, but you should be up here screening this man right here. Brandon makes a good basket cut, and Preston makes an on-target, on-time pass. Great pass, which leads to Brandon being able to shoot a layup. But DJ, if you're up here, that's a wide open layup if you make that screen and then don't bring your defender back down low. So here we are. Let's see if we're in our tiger press. So now Preston's playing behind him correctly. Brandon's playing the right side. Colton should be behind, this. He's reading the eyes of the guy looking to guard the ball. Love what Ace is doing here. Look how Ace is connected to the guy in the middle, denying him the basketball. That's exactly what we want out of the press. And DJ's up looking for anyone else. Now we've got a trap. He can't get it to the middle guy because Ace is playing that well. That's a huge change in the game just by fulfilling one assignment correctly. They call a reach-in foul. Let's get set up again and see what this looks like. So again, Ace is denying it. I mean, this is the perfect way to play it. DJ's back here with this other player. Colton staying in front. We've got a nice trap. They get the pass through, but it's fine. So now Ace, great recovery, using the body. DJ's there to help. I like how Ace, again, is fighting him off the block, right? He's got a body on him. They're battling for position. And all, those kind of things together help in these battles for the ball, and that's a jump ball. But what I can't highlight enough what Ace is doing in that fourth quarter and using a technique and a physicality to his game that changed the momentum of the game. They had a really hard time scoring after that. That's just a miscommunication. Colton, I believe you were front left, and you're just you got to understand where you're supposed to be on the zone. Another one of those step backs. Good rebound by Preston. Good drive and kick. Warren man to man. We're calling Carolina again. So because we're calling Carolina, DJ, you're going to come up and hopefully screen this guy. If you can't get there in time for the give and go screen, then you're going to turn and top the key and face and get ready to screen Preston's man. So Brandon goes through. It's not, oh, it is there. And Colton makes another good pass, and Brandon's able to get free throws because he's fouled. So the give and go cut has been there twice in a row. And what I like here, this is what we love to see. So DJ missed the screen here. Preston noticed it, and we've got guys who know the playbook and they're explaining it to each other. And that's part of how we learn. We learn from coach, we learn from these videos, we learn from each other. That's a great way to lift your teammates up. So I'm going to fast forward this video a little bit. Oh, back it up a little bit. I think this is this Myths, they get the rebound. Good. Good defense by Preston. Brandon's there to help out. Colton's there. Now Colton, there you go. Play outside leverage, close out, but don't jump. Don't jump. Just get a hand up. We don't need you jumping. That's a closeout right there, just like Preston just did. Once they pick up the ball, then you might jump. You run out here, you close out. Good. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Exactly like that. And he traveled. But DJ, I'd like to see you shuffle out in front of him a little bit more. Now, you may be playing with 4 fouls at this point, so I understand if maybe you're being a little bit careful. But I like to see you shuffle in front of him so that he can't get to the hoop. Now, they just don't pick up Brandon here. And so he takes the open shot. We got a stop ball a little bit earlier. Good. That's a good closeout, Colton. Looks way better when you're not jumping out of the ball. Like the pressure, Preston. Ace, like that you're connected to 4. Because you're connected to him, it's a lot harder to get him the ball than it was before. So this is what begins to turn the game for us. We start doing some things right defensively by bodying up their 2 big guys. What's the play here? Looks like we're running Carolina again. So you got to set the screen, get a whole piece of him, DJ, and then you got to turn and get Colton's man. Now, because this guy 45 is just sagging in the middle, he leaves Brandon wide open again. So, and he hits the 3, and that 3 right there gives us some breathing room again. And what's nice about it is that even though they disrupted the Carolina curl cuts, because there's so much movement and motion, it leaves people unaccounted for, and they left Brandon wide open for a 3 right there. So you can see the benefit of running some of our new plays in the man-to-man. It gives our offense more diversity. We're not doing the same thing every time. They can't just overplay the high screen. And so that's great. And as we learn the playbook, there's still more things that I'd like to be able to teach you, but we've got to learn to execute well the things that we already know before we're going to add more things to the playbook. So I'd love to see everyone make sure that they feel really comfortable with what they're supposed to do when we call Carolina, or if we call Alabama, or if we call Mississippi or Maryland or Hawaii or Arizona. Everyone knows what those things mean. I'm going to just fast forward a little bit until we can see the screen again. Okay, so here we call Bama. And this is where we have 2 guys flash to the high post and we're looking for the backdoor cut. So look at this. Brandon gets him perfect. Tripp makes a phenomenal pass. So Jost cuts backdoor just like he's supposed to. Tripp puts it on a dime. And that is a clear, easy basket. Now, Brandon, if it wasn't there, you've got to come tighter to Tripp so that you could have gotten the handoff. But that's a really good play. And because we're able to execute a play that they hadn't seen late in the game, it got us an easy bucket. And now, a game that was a 3-point game is an 11-point game. Good box out by Greg getting that board. Hey, one thing, if you see someone about to steal the ball from a teammate from behind, we want to yell and warn them as quickly as possible, see if we can catch their attention. That time Brandon was dribbling up the floor. I don't think anyone let him know that 45 was coming in behind him. They call that foul on Jost, but I really, guys, we have fouls to give in games, and so if we're fouling someone because we're out there playing aggressively, but our hands are up, it's not a silly foul where we're swiping down, we're just getting up into the defender. I don't mind those at all. Into the offensive player, I should say, not the defender. Love seeing P slap the floor. He's into it. He's into the defense right now. So Greg, we're waiting a little too long to get there. I'm going to go back, and I just want to show you something. Okay, so you're guarding number 4 underneath. He's going to post you up. You're not in contact with him. Here, even after he's made his cut, you're not in contact with him. You're playing off of him. You're still not in contact with him, right? Like, you should be your body up against his body. And then because you're not in contact with him, he's so close to the basket, he just has to turn and shoot it up over you. And that's where his height becomes an advantage. But you have enough strength where you could have been in him that whole play, pushing him out. Tripp did a nice job of boxing out 45 that play. And, Ace, Greg, Tripp, DJ, those guys really came on late, starting to put bodies on people, and that was a big difference maker. So now we're up, 9, I believe, and it's late in the game, and we're running what I call the four corners offense. And because the four corners offense is meant to spread teams out and force them to come out of their position. And our goal in these situations are either to be able to shoot a layup, like Josiah just had, a layup, or to wait for them to foul us. We're not shooting any threes or long jump shots at this point in the game. We're just moving around. We're extending them out, and they're not going to be comfortable doing that. Their whole game plan was to clog the paint so that we couldn't drive around them because they don't have the defenders to stay in front of us when we do that. And that's the strategy. So let's get back out into four corners. So four corners, we have one person up top, two guys wide. Greg, I want him to widen out to the corner. Tripp stays high. Good. And we still want to pass the ball, and we still want to cut in this offense. Okay, never mind. This is Carolina. And that curl cut worked to perfection. We just didn't get the layup to go down. But that was really well. We're still attacking at this point, running Carolina, but soon we go into that four corners offense. Sometimes we miss layups, it's okay, but we just want to get in the practice so that, when those opportunities present themselves, that we're making those at a very high percentage. Tripp's battling. Good box out by Greg. Outlet pass. Still up 9, four corners. So see, they're relaxing back and Brandon smartly pulling it out. We're not in a hurry. Now, when we run four corners, I still want the ball moving a lot. The only time we dribble is if no one's out guarding us. So like this, no one's guarding Preston. And so he's just going to dribble until they come out and guard him. And that forces them into a timeout. Because coach has to tell them to change their whole... Oh. They didn't call timeout. But so, Joe, instead of just holding the ball, I would like to see you pass it to Brandon or pass it to Preston. We want to keep passing and moving. And we only dribble it when... we only hold it or dribble when no one's out guarding us. And if they get right up in, you drive past them, and then you can always just pull back and reset. I think we got a timeout. So we're drawing up four corners, talking about how to play this. Talking about some defensive assignments. Now let's see if, see now Greg's leaning on number 4 and Tripp's leaning on 45. See, now Greg's attached to him and Brandon's out there helping, and he can't, it's harder for him to operate in there. He's trying to get the ball out. That's how we got to play these big post players. We need the main player getting low and pushing them off the spot, and then if he's taking a lot of time trying to work his way back in because he's further out, it takes him longer to get there. Our guards can collapse down and double team and make it difficult for him. So that was a really good play. I know they called a foul, but it was a good play. Now they're going to try to pressure us. And remember this play. This is one where, Tripp, you were open. We probably wanted to recognize that you were kind of open for a lob pass over the top. So kind of like you would in football, turning around and running and catching it over your shoulder, as opposed to standing there and trying to jump for it would have been the right approach. I like that Brandon's playing outside leverage. I like that Preston's really moving his feet. I see Greg kind of fighting in there. Greg, you got to get him off. You got to get him off that spot. There with 20 seconds. Pressman, I'd just hold on to the ball, make them foul you, or wait till someone's wide open and pass it. But again, really good defense. I love the closing speed and the closeouts and the fact when that ball moves, we're moving while the ball's in the air to try to get there. And then Josiah steals it, and that's the close of the game. So, bottom line, the things that we needed to improve in this game was our technique and our rotations in our full court press. We needed to box out and rebound better and put bodies on big men. And then man-to-man, we were losing track of guys and not letting people get in front. But what I really liked is that we learned some things. You can see in the final 5 to 6 minutes or so maybe final quarter, because I guess Ace came at the beginning of the quarter and started to do that. But towards the end of the game, we see people starting to do those things more correctly. And when we do our assignments correctly, it shows up on the scoreboard. So hopefully everyone gets a chance to watch these videos. This is helpful to learn your assignments. And then as you execute your assignments, you have confidence that as a team, we're going to be a lot tougher to beat and we're going to make a lot of great plays working together, all doing our own roles. All right, Tigers. Thanks again. We'll talk soon.